Spring has sprung, and so has the cat. Let's try that again. Spring has sprung. And if I were going to make a prediction of the weather, I would give a 65, sunny, and spendy. We are moving into spring budgeting. So today we're going to talk about living below your means this spring. Keep watching. Happy Frugal Friday, friends. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Kate. I talk about saving money, budgeting, and frugal living every single week of every single month of every year since 2019. Today, we're going to prepare your spring budget. We've got April, May, and June coming up. Now, the way that I budget, first of all, I am a unique monthly budgeter. So each month I prepare a unique budget based on what is going on. This is something I initially learned from Dave Ramsey and has been very effective for me personally. So if you're a monthly budgeter, this is what I always do. I always prepare before the month begins. And so we're starting now, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually talk about the next 3-month chunk. Because the first quarter is over, people. We have moved into the second quarter of the year. I can't even believe it. Wasn't Christmas just here? Now we're in spring. So for April, May, June, it's a whole new ballgame. For me, my spending pattern goes like this for the year. January, as many of you participated in, was no spend January. February, March are very low spend. It's the dead of winter here. What am I spending money on? I don't need to spend a ton in the winter. I don't want to. I don't need to. I save it for my spring, summer, and the rest of the year. But my next quarter, April, May, and June, is a moderate spending period for me before I kick off into summer, which is the highest of the entire year for me. If we were dividing the year into quarters, which I do, January through March, April through June, July through September, and then October through December, which quarter do you spend the most in? Think about it and let me know in the comments. Quarter 1, 2, 3, or 4. For me, you might think, oh, it'd probably be Christmas, but honestly, it's quarter 3. And since we're only on quarter 2, let's get prepared for all the things that are spring, because there is a lot coming up. Reminder, if you always live below your means, you'll never be in debt. It's just the math of it. If you never spend more than you earn and you always spend less than you earn, you're going to get to save, and that's always the goal. This one, I'm going to encourage you, take out your notebook, get your notebook and a pen, because I got a lot of stuff that you might want to write down to consider for your spring budget. Notepads ready? Let's do this. Okay, let's talk about the most obvious thing happening right now. The topic on everybody's tongue is inflation. So I have a video that I did with Under the Median talking about how to save money during inflation. I will leave that down in the description. And then as far as food goes and fitness and all that, I did a video with Miss Dina Burley, and I will leave that down below talking about saving money when you're trying to eat healthy. Those are 2 videos that I think you should watch. I hope you enjoy those 2 videos. I think they'd be very helpful, especially during these times. As far as gas goes, I'm just going to say it right away. Try to batch errands. If you don't go out on Sundays, don't go out just to go grocery shopping on Sundays. Try to do it while you are out doing something else, while you're already moving around. Batch errands, hugely helpful. Groceries and eating right, watch that video with Dina. But the other thing I just want to add is use little here and there things like Fetch. Fetch is one of my favorite apps. I use Fetch every week. I will leave my link down below so that you can get a free few thousand points to start off your Fetch journey. If you don't do that, all you have to do is snap receipts. So easy, so quick. Come here, buns. But let's talk about the big things happening in April, May, June. So let's talk about holidays first. Know that most of the things I'm about to say, most, are actually categorized in my budget under lifestyle or giving. So these things are not necessarily something you have to spend money on, okay? especially if things are tight right now. Don't feel the need to go wild during the holidays if you don't have it right now. You got to just take a hard look at the budget and say, okay, what can I do and what can I not do right now? And be unapologetic if you can't buy the biggest Easter basket on the planet or spoil your mom to your heart's content the way your mom deserves to be spoiled. I get it. My mom is one of the best women on this entire planet, and I want to give her the world on Mother's Day. The world. She does deserve it. And then we got Father's Day, and in my opinion, I've got the best dad in the world, and I want to take him on lavish vacations and just spoil them rotten with fancy dinners and appreciation. But if it's not in the budget, you might have to tone it down a little bit this year. But let's talk about those holidays. Okay, Easter. You want to plan if you celebrate Easter. First of all, if you don't celebrate Easter, you can pass on this one. I do celebrate Easter, and I do like to do a little something for Kaden each Easter, but I don't go crazy, and I've never gone crazy, so he would never expect like a crazy lavish Easter. You know what I mean? Mother's Day, Father's Day, Memorial Day. If you're going to do something Memorial Day weekend, you want to plan ahead for that. On the flip side, if it's not in the budget right now, you can't do something crazy on Memorial Day weekend, and that's just going to have to be okay. But the good thing about talking about this today is you can plan, you can think ahead, and you can consider all your options. If you're not even thinking about it, and then Memorial Day comes up and you're like, oh, we should have planned this. Then they're like, oh, I'm going to book a hotel here and it's not in the budget. You don't want to get to that point. Spring break. Our kids up here have, for breaks, they have a February break and then they have an April break, which is another week off every year. I still have to work, even though you guys know I work in a school. I still work year round, so I still have to work. Some people do something on break. Some people have staycations. Again, it's up to you, but you've got to figure out what's in the budget. These are all just things to consider. Let's talk about all the other optional things that are coming up. Like the end of the school year is coming. Some people do teacher appreciation gifts. That can be very small. It could be a heartfelt letter. It could be a $5 gift card to Dunkin'. Last year for Kaden's teachers, I found this really cute little candy thing on Pinterest where you get a box or bag of candy and you attach this cute little note that goes with it. Graduation parties, graduation gifts, graduation gatherings. Is your child graduating? That's a thing. Got to consider what you want to do for their graduation, or if you're invited to a graduation party or graduation event, how will you participate? It's wedding season coming up. There's a ton of weddings probably. Babies are being born, baby showers, bridal showers. Again, these are all things that you have to decide. How much can I realistically spend on these things? Spring clothing is another thing to consider that I'm actually looking forward to participating in this year. You guys know I've been on a weight loss journey, and there are some things that are no longer fitting, and there are some things that I have put off purchasing in hopes of losing weight, which I know is not a great strategy, but in this situation it has worked out. I need to get a new bathing suit, you guys. I've had the same bathing suit for years, and I've literally only had one bathing suit. And I know some of you, that's normal. You just have a bathing suit, but I've only had one. I want to say, this is embarrassing, maybe since 2000, like when did I move back to Maine? 2014? Maybe 2014? The same bathing suit for that long? Could that be right? Oh my gosh. You guys, let me know in the comments. How many bathing suits do you have? Don't even make up a number that you think I want to hear. Tell me the truth. How many bathing suits do you currently have? I need to know. Because when I buy this new one, I'll have two. And that's it. Taxes. You got to take care of your taxes. Some of you were right off the jump. You got your W-2, boom. Some of us with slightly more complicated situations might take a little longer. I don't know if you pay somebody to do your taxes. I don't know if you do it all yourself on like TurboTax. Make sure to account for if you're gonna have to owe, what are your tax preparation expenses? This is definitely something to remember when you're making your spring budget. Also, house repairs or any little home reno project that you're working on outside, is there something, does something need to be planted? Does something need to be fixed? Do you do a garden? Like, what do you do outside of your house? Is there anything come spring or something that you put off that you saw this winter and you're like, oh, I'll worry about that this spring? Here we are. Think about that. Is there anything that needs to be done for your home, for home maintenance? Another thing not to forget about, you guys know I used to work for a heating and plumbing company. Make sure to get your maintenance on, like your boiler, for example. Don't neglect these things because it'll save you tons of money later. Also, the switch in utilities, the AC. This is kind of a weird period, right? Well, it depends where you live, but I'm going to lay off the heat a little bit, and then the AC is going to be coming in, and then the power is going to pop up, but the oil is going to go down. But it's all an adjustment, right? So just be aware of the utility shift depending on what your weather is, where you live. The other thing to think about is in preparation for summer. If you're a parent, is your kid going to summer camp that you have to pay tuition for? Do you have to register a little early? These are definitely things to consider in your spring budget so that come third quarter, it's not so scary. Oh my goodness, I just realized how many things I just mentioned, and I'm thinking, this is supposed to be my moderate spending season, and now I'm thinking, am I wrong? I hope you had your notepads, guys. So if I just overwhelmed you more than ever, think about also, if you need more money right now, can you work overtime? Are there overtime hours? This is another change in season. Are people looking for seasonal work, something part-time you can do? Just throwing it out there. Some of you are already crushing it. You work as many hours as you possibly can. I'm just saying if there is a need to bring in more income so that you can stay living below your means, it just might be an option to pick up some extra hours or work a part-time job. Always something to consider to bring in more money. Okay, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Can you guys please, while you're writing down all this stuff in your notebook, think about other things or take a look in your budget and let us know in the comments, let the K Squad know, what did I not mention in this video yet that we need to remember when planning our budgets for spring. I'm going to leave you 2 videos right here and here that I think will be helpful next for you while talking about living below your means. If you haven't hit subscribe yet and you like talking about frugal living, budgeting, or saving money, please hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a video, which is every single Friday. But sometimes I do collabs with people, hint, hint. Sometimes I do lives that I just happen to pop in for, hint, hint. So hit subscribe just so you catch it when I pop in on unexpected days other than Friday. Thank you so much for watching K Squad. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, guys.